there. Help him out, Stephen. Help him out, Stephen. He needs help. Ah. I already brought 3 of them. Oh, one of them is yours. Oh.
Oh.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I'd like to call the special meeting to order. It is Friday, October 20th at 12 p.m. If everyone will stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance, and if you're able, and we'll have a prayer by Councilman Ulrich. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, we ask that you bless this gathering. We ask that you watch over and keep us well so that we may do your will. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, not to labor on all the stuff, I'm just going to jump into these agenda items, and I appreciate everyone being here, whether you're here for an agenda item or if you're here just to listen to see how things go in city council meetings. We'll go to agenda item number 3, citizens' presentation and comments. In accordance with the Texas Attorney General's opinion, any public comment that is made on an item that is not on the posted final agenda will only be heard by the city council. No formal action, discussion, deliberation, or comment will be made by the city council. Okay, and let's go to I have 2 folks that have signed up here. Ms. Morrell, do you want to speak on an agenda item?
No,
Just coming to listen?
no.
Okay. You want to speak on something?
If I may.
Okay, if you'll stand and come to the podium and introduce yourself and where you're from, and you're able to speak, okay?
Thank you. I'm
You're
Lynetta Morrell, and I live at 515 Cypher Loop. And there is an easement that runs parallel to my property, and it was excavated last year, and it was not done properly. And there is a huge crater now where it is, down to the rock, all the way down to the Cypher property, on the side of me. The biggest problem is, one, I have a 6-year-old grandson, and he rode his bicycle off the end of the driveway into that. Fortunately, he did not hit the rebar that was sticking up out of the ground. And I have addressed this, a few times. In fact, Jason did come out to my home and looked at the situation. I've talked to Dolores. And, I know there are extenuating circumstances, and this is not a priority of everybody. However, as we get closer into the winter, when it does, if we ever do get any rain, it's just going to get worse. It's probably about, I'd say, 3.5 feet deep now. And it is cratered all along. There are a lot of rocks. Jason could probably address the situation on that better than I could. But I am just curious to know if any plans have been made on a specific time frame as to when it will be repaired. We could cut the grass between, Milton Winkler owns the vacant property between my home and his home. And we could cut the grass by, riding through the easement. It was shallow enough you could run a mower over it, and we can't now, of course. So that is all the reason I'm here, other than I'm interested in what's going on.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Hellenkamp, if you'll step forward, introduce yourself and where you are from.
Hello, my name is Kenny Elmcamp, and I am the president of the Weimer Golf Course. So I'm here to address a situation we have at the golf course. So a year ago, Raymond Ramirez has been out there 40 years as our head greenkeeper, and he retired, and we gave him a nice going-away party. So we put in the paper and in several golf course magazines, we're hiring a superintendent, a greenskeeper. And we had one application, it was Timmy Yonda. And so a year ago, it was passed through the council that the city would pay 100% of the greenskeeper salary. And Alex was on board then and got that passed for us, which was a really good job. So Timmy met with Mike Burrow, and Mike hired him. And he told Timmy that he'd start him out at a salary, and he promised Timmy once he got his spray license from the state that he'd give him a raise. Timmy went to Austin and got a spray license. He did not receive a raise. And Mike also told him after a year that he'd give him a nice raise. And that was promised to Timmy, and it's been a year, and he hadn't got a raise. So he came to me, being the president, and not happy. And he was promised from Mike $52,000 to $55,000 after the first year there. So he has not gotten it. And, being in Weimer all these years, and several of us play golf and been at the golf course, we all know what that golf course means to Weimer. And we have tons of members. We got people on a waiting list to be members and get in a cart shed, which we need to build a cart shed. We'll do that at a different time. So Raymond is there half a day, and Mr. Danny's there half a day. And we just all gave our employees raises at the clubhouse and, at the golf course, because with the way times are changing, the cost of living went up. So basically, what I'm here to do is I'm begging you to please give Timmy his money. And because if not, I'm afraid he's going to quit. And if he quits, we have nobody else. And that's a serious problem. It takes a lot of maintenance on that golf course to keep it up. And those two other guys are part-time. And neither one of them are willing to take it on full-time job. I've asked. And so we lose Timmy, we lose quite a bit, and not to mention how many members we have from out of town. That's just what superintendents make. I know it's in a small town, but I've been in the business with BWI for 17 years going to golf courses. Those guys make 80 to 100. Some make 150. So asking for $52,000, that's a Monday through Sunday job. I don't think it's too much to ask. That's just my opinion. And I hope you guys can see it our way, because we really need to keep Timmy happy. And I don't think that's asking for too much. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Elmcamp. Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak that maybe did not sign up? Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 4, acceptance of petition from Jose Magan for annexation of property in the ETJ of the 13.485 acre tract located at 503 West North Street. Dolores?
Okay, y'all all have a copy of the petition. The process that you go through for annexation is the city will accept the petition, and then for the next meeting that we hold on the public hearing, we will prepare a utility service agreement, a written service agreement for the utilities, telling him what the cost he will have to be. The developer has to pay the utility cost extensions. All the utilities are there, but they have to pay the cost to extend it. So we have to get that estimate fixed up and ready for that first meeting. After that, we have to have 2 public hearings. And the first public hearing, the public hearings, you have to have for sure 10 days publication in the paper, up to 20 days. Can't have it sooner than 20 days. So if we go ahead and set the first hearing for the November 9th meeting, we would have to hold a special council meeting next week to pass an ordinance setting that hearing. And then the second one could be held on December 14th. With the holidays, it's going to be a little harder. But at the second hearing, then we could approve the annexation ordinance.
So you said he's bearing all the costs of
Yes, sir.
I would move we accept the petition.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. We do have it as an agenda item, correct? Okay. Any additional discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Kevin, you're good to go, young man? Okay, thank you. Agenda item number 5, discussion and action on Little League improvements to baseball fields, Hill Park, and Shaver Field.
Okay, the very latest updated estimate that the Little League provided comes out to $20,806.90 for the total project. That's including the Diamond Pro conditioner as well as the red infield dirt. They are requesting that the city provide up to $10,000 of that, and they would pay the rest of it.
How long does this last? When's the last time that
It's been a couple of years since we've done it.
So, hold on, I'll go this way. There's 2 folks that have signed up to speak on the agenda item. Rex, you're first. If you wouldn't mind maybe coming up, introduce yourself, and maybe be able to answer the questions. Clay, you can come up there with him also, if you want, at the same time, okay? If you both will introduce yourself so you're on record.
Rex Clazel, I've been on the board of the Little League for 11 years. I was president for a couple of years. I got a couple of years left.
My name is Clay Bittner. I'm on the board of Little League, and I do keep up with Schaefer Field for all the maintenance.
In 2014, we, a lot of y'all remember, we did a big project at Shaver Field. We redid all the fencing, the chain link, the backstop, the wood fence in the outfield, everything. Re-leveled the field. And so I guess that's, 9 years is what we're looking at there. At that time, when we did that project, we were able to get the wood for the fence donated, a lot of the pipe for the chain link fence donated, and almost, I would say probably 90% of the labor was done by volunteer people with children in Little League. Currently, Shaver Field, Clay is the main, I guess you would call it, groundskeeper maintenance for the playing surface there. He's helped by, whoever else can help out, from a volunteer standpoint. And then I believe Lee Miller and Vernon Rarick do a lot of the work at Hill Park Fields. So that quote is for all 3 fields.
Yes.
So you're not looking at a $20,000 expense just for Shaver. I would imagine probably the majority of that expense it's broken up at about, not exactly about 3 ways, because there's a little bit more work that needs to be done at Shaver as far as some of the leveling and stuff that needs to happen. But, moving forward, you're gonna have another 8 or 10 years probably of this guy right here
Yeah.
taking care of it. But basically volunteer work that's keeping these things in order. So we're just requesting any help we can get with that in terms of getting us to make it happen.
So you're asking for $10,000 and then y'all can
The
pitch in the rest?
Little League will pay the rest of it.
I think it's a good turnaround. I think it's a good investment. I mean, we don't have a lot for our kids to do around Weimer, and it's something that needs to be kept up with.
Our Little League program is growing.
Yeah.
We've had a record number of teams
Fantastic.
last year. It's getting harder and harder. We need to keep our fields in really good shape.
I think it's a great investment for Weimer.
Yeah, I'm good with the supporting the kids. Would this be on a reimbursement basis, or
No.
No?
No,
Okay.
yeah.
That's a firm, yeah, that's,
Okay.
$10,000 flat.
yes.
I make a motion that the city of Weimer gives the Little League gives $10,000 for the Little League improvements for the baseball fields at Hill Park Fields and Schaefer Fields.
Second.
Who do you have a second? Thank you. We have a motion and a second. It's open for additional discussion. No, you didn't get to say much.
Right.
Is there anything, I mean, it seems like everything's there. So you can put out in public if you want to.
Right, no, I mean,
More stuff, yeah.
it's just, my comments were, the Little League program's growing. We had a record number of teams last year. We have to use these fields. Last year, when it rained so much in the spring, I was playing home games in Schulenburg just to try to get these games in. So leveling the field, adding some more dirt will definitely help us out.
Thank y'all for what y'all do. Appreciate y'all.
Any other discussion?
Could I say something about this?
You,
I should have signed up, but I didn't know you had signed up.
I can put you on here to say that, yes, if you'll step up to the podium and introduce yourself, and I'll write you down, Mr. Seidler.
My name is Red Seidler. I'm from here for all my life. I know these two young gentlemen. They're awesome. They're great guys. They really work hard, and they really work with our youth. I've been looking at what we're doing here from when I played Little League Baseball, and now what we have 250 or so kids that sign up. Back in those days, we just had Little League. You had the minor pitch, and then the Little League, that was it. I look at our facilities, and they need upgrading. We also need to prepare for the future because we're going to have more than 250 kids 4 or 5 years from now. So I would just recommend, I would like to form a committee and have like these two gentlemen and get like a Whitney Sombear with the soccer. I've been to the soccer fields out there. There's cracks in there where kids can't even play because they might break an ankle or something. And look at our facilities. Look at the big picture. Let's start at the bottom. See what we have here, what we can upgrade, and then add to what we need. Because we have 2 baseball fields at the golf course. They're not well taken care of, but we need to be able to take care of those better. And we need to, in the Little League field. I mean, with the rain and stuff this summer, sometimes, and I know with Clay, he was scheduling, and bless his heart. It's hard to schedule for 259 kids or whatever it is when you have rain and everything else. So we need more facilities and better facilities. And that's an important. My father always said, you show me a kid that's hunting, fishing, playing sports, or working, I'll show you one that's not in trouble. And that's what we need here in this community. And we've won 11 state baseball championships, 5 in baseball and 6 in softball. So we should have better facilities for our kids so they can grow up and keep on doing this. Do you all agree with me on that? And I think if we formed a committee with the people who work here, I'd get Mr. Barry, who does the soccer, I would get with these 2 gentlemen, and I would find out exactly how many children we need, what age groups you have. You have minor pitch, you have Little League, you have T-ball, you got girls softball. You have all those people that are playing ball, and the facilities need to be upgraded to accommodate them. Now, you also have, we used to play through Little League when you were 12 years old, then you went to the big field. You went to the Veterans Park, or you would go to the regular, the girls softball field. But now you have an in-between, 11 and 12-year-olds. Sometimes they play in a 50 to 70-foot base. Little League is 44 feet from the pitcher's mound, 60 feet to the bases. And now they play that. So you could build a field there that's adjustable. You can move the mound and everything else. So I've been around the Little League All-Stars. I've been around there where you see that people do AstroTurf on the infield. It's a lot less maintenance, and it really matters. So, but we'd have to look at a big picture and take our time, and let's assess what we need, what we can afford, and how we can get there. And I think if we would get together here and we'd all talk about what we need here and then bring it to you and show you, and then have somebody, hire somebody say, hey, this is how we get there and this is what we need to do to get there. So I think we can do, I want to think big. I don't want to think small, okay? So, and I want to think about the future. I won't be here by that time, but I want my grandkids and I want the rest of them all here to have a great time. Because our city is growing. People are moving here. Houston's supposed to project it to be the largest city, the second largest city in America by till 2050 or whatever. And how many people are moving out here? I mean, when I grew up as a kid, there were 2,000 people in the city of Weimar. There still are. But the growth out in the country is where it all happened. So we got a lot more people out here. And with people, they want to leave the big city sometimes and bring their kids here because we have a better situation here. We have a great town here, and we have great facilities. If we just make these things work, we can make it better for everybody. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak on the agenda item? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you all.
You're welcome. With Rex's voice?
Yes.
Did he leave? Oh, I see. Like I heard his voice, I didn't see him. Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 6, discussion and action on options for work on water leak under Union Pacific Railroad. Dolores?
Okay, well, Jason's been working on that, trying to get, decide what options he would like to follow. Jason, do you want to give an update?
Hello.
Hello.
Not really much has changed since last council meeting. We did come up with some ideas on how to make it a little more cost efficient. We thought about coming off this 4-inch back here and cutting through the backside of the little parking lot spaces right here, instead of coming up the front. Maybe that would be a little bit cheaper, but it would still be with the line being back here in the back. So, as far as running services in the front, I still have not received that quote yet. So, not really a whole lot's changed since the last meeting.
Still leaning towards bypassing that though, so we don't have anything.
Yeah, because it was, that messing with the railroad is
Yeah.
too many dollars.
So there are other ideas out there. Yeah, it's just gonna come down to, I mean, I know cost is a big deal. Nobody really expected it to be as much as it's, you know, what the railroad's gonna charge us, so. Yeah, that's an option, services in the front, then cutting across the back part, the side part of this parking lot.
If we bypass it, what are we losing?
Well, and actually Kevin helped me with this. There was some lines that I wasn't seeing on some maps I had down there. He got some information from the ex-city manager, and I was able to verify them lines. So abandoning this line back here that's not really a concern to me, because I know we got some other feeds going across the tracks. So I don't feel bad about killing that 4-inch right there if we need to.
Thank you. Okay.
I
Anybody
think
else?
we need to make a decision on that. Is that a,
No, he doesn't have all the,
We don't have all the quotes
all the
of
numbers
I
yet.
got
what
you.
it would
I got you.
cost yet.
Yeah.
We're
We were
still-
hoping that I put it on here only because he might have had something for
Yes.
you guys, but since we don't have all the numbers yet, at least giving you an update is kind of where we are.
I'm glad that it's not gonna interfere with anything if we bypass it. You know, that's the key. We're not gonna be cutting anything off. Costing us, you know, not costing us if we can cut it off, that's even better. You're not costing us much. Hey, I was just curious.
Everybody good? Okay, thank you, Jason.
Thank you very much.
And there will be no action taken on this particular item. We'll move to agenda item number 7, discussion and action on SCADA system improvements for water plant.
Okay, so Jason has given the okay to Mercer's Controls to go ahead and do the 2 items that we discussed at the council meeting, but he's gotten, they haven't showed up. So we don't know when they're gonna show.
Okay, I talked to Cheryl Mercer last Friday, gave him the okay to run a new communications cable to send the signal from row 6 down to water plant 1. And also to try to figure out what the confusion is between well 9 and well 6 and them coming on together, and to try to have them come on independently while feeding fully. Right now, water plant 1 is down, it's still down, the city's running on water plant 3. So we need to get that water plant back. I've been having some issues, off and on with, keeping the tower full, the elevated here. That's kind of a hit and miss thing. Some days are better than others. Some days the city uses more water than other days. So we've been getting some alarms, but, you know, we're still maintaining water pressure. We still, you know, the city's not gonna run out of water or anything. We're just a little bit lower levels than,
Are we rotating wells, or are we just strictly running on well 3 for that?
no, well, so water plant 3 has,
Water plant 3, I'm sorry.
well 4 and well 8.
Okay,
Those wells have been coming on together.
okay.
Because what happened is I'll get a low ground storage tank alarm. And then, but here lately I've been getting a low elevated tank alarm because of the demand.
Do we know if there's any grants available for any of this stuff that we discussed last week?
We are looking into that. I've talked to a couple people about some grants on that, and also generators and doing some line replacement out here.
Water plant 1, what wells are attached there?
That's 6 and 8.
So they're not running at all?
I'm not running those right now. If we run, well 9 will run, but it won't run independently and feed chlorine at the same time. If we run well 6, we have to run it manually.
The old water tower, are we utilizing that at all?
The old water tower, well, since this water tower over here is so much higher than that one won't even fill completely up. Yeah, I think everything's running off this right now. But, I mean, it's in service, I mean, it's active.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Very good. What action is needed, Dolores?
No action,
Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you, Jason.
because it's all
Thank you.
below the 10,000.
Okay. To follow up on a question from Councilman Scardino, you guys are going to be trying to find some,
Yes, we're working with Langford's, trying to find some funds that would be available for this type of project.
Good deal.
let's do agenda item number 8, executive session under section 551.074, personnel, city manager. So we will go